See y'all in Tampa. Hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. The king of Chiefs Kingdom right there. Patrick Mahomes tweeting after the win. He's headed to Super Bowl 55 to try to steal the GOAT crown from Tom Brady, who will be playing in his home stadium, the first time that has ever happened. Stephen, excuse me, can Mahomes ever be the GOAT, if Brady wins?
No, I don't think so. Because think about what we said about Aaron Rodgers. We looked at him, and I've been on the record saying he's the greatest talent I've ever seen at the quarterback position. Now, Patrick Mahomes comes along. We might be able to say that.
Yeah.
But in the end, here's what it comes down to. If Tom Brady would have beat Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady would have 7 Super Bowl rings. I don't think any of us think that somebody else is coming along that's going to capture 7 Super Bowl championships. As great as Tyreek Hill is, I don't think that he'll be that great 6 years from now. As great as Travis Kelce is, I don't think he'll be that great 6 years from now. So when I look at it, I'm saying, excuse me, are you going to get 7 rings? Chances are no. But then it would be on your record that a 43-year-old quarterback is the one who beat you. All right? So I think the combination of those two things would prevent us from looking at Patrick Mahomes and saying he's the GOAT. We would ultimately say Brady is, because from a talent perspective, we don't look at Brady and think that he's more talented than Patrick Mahomes. He's more talented than Aaron Rodgers. But we do look at him and say he's the GOAT. Why? Because wherever he goes, he wins. He finds a way to win, galvanize the folks and get it done in that fashion. I think that's the difference here. That's what I'm talking about here. If Tom Brady would have beat Patrick Mahomes, I don't think Patrick Mahomes will ever be called the GOAT.
The odds would be against it, but let me just say, it's not impossible. The odds are against it even if Mahomes wins, that he'll ever be the GOAT over Brady, only because getting to 10 Super Bowls, you are not promised tomorrow in this life, let alone in the NFL. You know, that's a full contact sport. Playing 10 more years is hard to do, let alone getting to 10 Super Bowls and winning most of them. Because as you said, it'd be 7 if Brady wins. You have to win 6 more. And even if he did that, you start looking for tiebreakers, you go, when Brady was 43, Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and Brady beat him head-to-head. It'd be a big mountain to climb. Could Mahomes climb it? Yes, the answer is yes, he could. Do you realize he started in this league for 3 years? He's now in his 3rd straight Super Bowl. Zubin had it in the morning. A stat in the AFC Championship game. He has 0 interceptions thrown. Like Joe Montana, 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the Super Bowl, 4-0. Patrick Mahomes, no interceptions in the AFC Championship game. And he's already got a Super Bowl ring. You know what his record is in his last 26 games, Stephen A? Patrick Mahomes is a starter.
25-1.
25-1 against the NFL? Like, if Mahomes loses to Brady, but then let's say in the next half a dozen years, he goes to 3 or 4 more Super Bowls and wins a couple, what we will say, most likely, is the quality of Mahomes' prime was better than the quality of Brady's, even if he never gets him in longevity. Now, I acknowledge the fact that Brady will have beaten him head-to-head. That'd be a lot to overcome. You know what the quickest way to overcome it is? In a rematch. You think the Bucs are going to be a lot worse next year? The Bucs are loaded, and Brady hasn't had the time to practice with them really in the preseason.
Are you sure that if Brady wins the Super Bowl at age 43, he won't look at Giselle and that beautiful family of his and say, I think I've proved my point. It's time for me to walk away. Are you sure that 2 weeks from yesterday might not be the last time we ever see Brady
If he
play?
wins it, storybook ending. I mean,
Max.
talk about going out on top.
If he wins and walks away, Mahomes can't overcome that.
Well, I would say that, I haven't been wrong about a Brady prediction yet.
By the way,
so let me just say, I know you're waiting.
Quarterback he's lost in the playoffs to.
Right. And by the way, Mahomes should have beaten them a couple years ago.
But didn't.
And if not for a pre-snap penalty, Brady ends the game on an interception, and Mahomes never touched the ball again. The point is, because I know people are waiting because I've yet to be wrong on a Brady prediction. So let me tell you what I think is going to happen.
Go ahead.
I don't think Brady retires if he wins.
Neither do I, but it's possible.
I think Brady keeps playing. And if he keeps playing, they have a hell of a shot next year, assuming he doesn't fall off the cliff. And Mahomes has a hell of a shot every year. So what the question is, can he ever catch Brady as the GOAT? A lot of things would have to happen if he loses the Super Bowl to Tom Brady, but it's not impossible.
Molly, did you pick up on the fact that Max Kellerman held Aaron Rodgers and some of the things that transpired in the first half against him, but he conveniently ignores how Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City didn't show up in the first half against New England in that AFC Championship game when they basically went scoreless.
I'm so glad you brought that
Did you forget that?
I'm so glad you brought
I'm
that
just saying.
All I heard was he remembered the clip.
It matters when Max wants it to matter,
No.
and he engages his amnesia when he wants to.
Check this out.
Selective memory?
Check this out. If you do when you miss Devontae Adams on 3 consecutive downs in the first half, which should have been a touchdown, and
Patrick Mahomes was scoreless in the first half.
Okay. Then what needs to happen in the second half, if you have daylight and you can run for a score or at least get stopped at the 1, worst case scenario, you stopped at the 1.
That's the first half.
And then I'll tell you something, LaFleur would have gone for it. I'm talking about the second half now, right?
Yes.
Then you're okay with me. Then I can't call it a choke, no matter what the coach does, right? Well, what happened with Mahomes is any bad first half he has, he makes up for it in the second half. That's what I'm saying. I know it's unfair. People are like, it's all gonna boil down to 1 or 2 plays. That's ridiculous. That's the nature of tackle football. There aren't a million chances like in baseball or basketball. So everything that happens is magnified in importance when you talk about big, high leverage moments. Mm-hmm. Yes, those moments define people's legacies. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, we'll see. When they played on November 29th, the Chiefs beat the Bucs by 3. Round 2, can't wait for it. When we come back here on First Take, though, we want to get back to Aaron Rodgers. The Packers falling to the Bucs. Did Matt LaFleur in that call cost them the game, or was it Rodgers? Ryan Clark will answer that.
Matt LaFleur doesn't let Aaron Rodgers go for it on a 4th and goal. Listening to those damn analytics, people. The analytics.
Brady.
Somebody got some explaining to do. And it ain't just me. The crew's in the house. It's time for First Take. Let's go.
That's how it should be, The 2 best teams in the conference should be getting together and seeing how it all goes down.
Brady has all kinds of time. Throws toward the end zone. Into the caught ball. Touchdown, Mike Evans.
Leonard Fournette on a 20-yard run. Oh, my goodness. That is game-altering. Touchdown! And the Packers fall back into the NFC Championship game.
And the Packers just won't go away.
It's do or die right now. And a late flag is thrown on the play.
Tampa Bay is heading to the Super Bowl.
2 words, Tom Brady. Oh, my goodness. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, I'm Molly Karam Rose. Max, it took me a lot not to tweet at you yesterday. This man is unreal. I know you're both a little sour today. That bad man got taken down. Let's get right into it.
Not sour.
Stephen A's at a loss for words for once here. The Bucs beat the Packers 31-26, sending Tom Brady to his 10th Super Bowl. But it was Matt LaFleur's decision to kick a field goal on 4th and goal that had everybody asking questions after the game. Listen up.
We've essentially had 4 timeouts with the 2-minute warning. And, we knew we needed to get a stop. And I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but we got called for the PI, and it didn't work out.
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. That wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs a new environment, but that's a later discussion in the show. First, Stephen A., let's focus on that 4th and goal call. Did that cost Aaron Rodgers a trip to the Super Bowl?
I believe it did. And when I say that it cost him, meaning it eradicated any chance that he had of pulling it off. That's all I mean by that. There were a lot of plays that preceded that, and we get all of that. We understand that this is a 60-minute football game, and we get it. We also understand that Tom Brady and his greatness and at age 43 and all that he accomplished, that's the kind of stuff that we'll be talking about as the show progresses. But not Mike Patton, even though he was awful as a defensive coordinator. He was awful. Matt LaFleur. We're going back to LaFleur. We're not going LaFleur. We're going LaFleur. Just for the purposes of today.
Stephen A. here.
If it sounds disrespectful, to hell with it. Matt LaFleur.
They hit LaFleur last night.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, this man, it was a straight choke job by the coach. If this were a player, we would call it a choke job. Matt LaFleur choked, coached scared, out of his damn mind, looked in over his head, and oh, by the way, at the end of the day, ended up reminding you why it was questionable why he was named the head coach of the Green Bay Packers to begin with. Because for those of you who don't remember, this was the man who presided over the 27th ranked offense in the National Football League in the Tennessee Titans when he was hired as the coach of the Green Bay Packers. In a day and age when the Eric Bieniemy, who's number one in practically every category, can't get a job, Matt LaFleur is the head coach of a team quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers. You started off the season screwing him over because you had a succession plan that you put right in front of his face by drafting Jordan Love, and you ended the season by taking the ball out of the hands of a guy who is about to be named league MVP, flat out balling, 45 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm so disgusted with what I saw from Matt LaFleur yesterday. It's just inexcusable. We walked into this game. Let's call it what it is. Molly, Max, we walked into this game. What were we thinking? We want to see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. We'll see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. Now, if a Steve Kerr or a John Paxson or somebody, Max, takes the winning jump shot, who gave him the ball? It was MJ. You make that call. You don't sit up. Even Phil Jackson knew better than to sit up there and have somebody else make the call other than Jordan. You give the man the ball and you say, take me to the promised land. But because of analytics and all of these folks out there talking about probabilities and all of this other stuff about your chances of converting a 4th and goal at the 8-yard line, God forbid that I give it to the man. Now, listen, I'm not letting Kevin King off the hook. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This cornerback right here,